In 2022, folk music band Heilung released the album Drift. Among the amazing tracks of the album, there's Tenet. Tenet is a track full of palindromes, sequences that read the same backward as forward. A melody can form a palindrome, as well as entire phrases. Here is a simple example of a melodic palindrome so you can understand. I divided the track into 5 parts. The Satle Square, sung in the central part of the song but also at its beginning, what I call the humming parts that surround 2 other parts, the Jord verse and the Sun verse, and finally what I call the Pax verse at the end of the track. There's also a hidden message at the beginning of the song only revealed when you play the track backward. Now, let's focus on the Satle Square. The Satle Square is the earliest datable 2-dimensional palindrome, first found in Herculaneum in Italy, a city buried under the ashes of the erupting Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. The Satle Square can be read forward, backward, and diagonally in both directions. There's no scholarly consensus around its translation, but it might be something like the sower Aleppo holds the wheels of his plough, with care. What is quite surprising with the Satle Square is that it's been used by the Romans and by different European cultures as talismans or magic spells. You can find the Satle Square carved in France, Germany, Norway, Sweden, England, Iceland, etc. Even Christians try to make it their own, for instance claiming that the Satle Square formed an anagram for Pater Noster. Many cultures took the Satle Square to make their prayer with it for health, luck, God, or against catastrophes. This multicultural story of the Satle Square inspired Heilung to include different languages in Tenet such as Latin, but also what sounds like Old Norse, Proto-Germanic and Gothic.
Like other pieces on this album, it reaches out to a broader perspective than only the North, because even in the North at the time they were also influenced by their surroundings like we are today, and that is what this track shows.
Sator, Arippo, Tenet, Opera, Rota, Sator, Arippo, Tenet, Opera, Rota.
The part is divided into 2 parts, 2 melodic palindromes. This means each of them sounds the same whether you play it forward or backward. Now the Jord verse. This verse is a bit strange, I have to say. It sounds like some extracts of the Havamal, a poem from the Poetic Edda, but doesn't seem to be a literal copy of any text. Havamal consists of proverbs, moral advice and sagas often associated with the god Odin, and it reveals the concrete life of the peasant world. It's reminiscent of the Satle Square, if the translation with the sour is anything to go by. The verse follows the structure of poetic or ritualistic writings like Eddas or sagas, but it seems to be an original creation by Heilung. The language sounds like Old Norse and Proto-Germanic, and some words look like real ancient words that have been stylized. I attempted to translate this verse, but it might be incorrect. The earth needs to be protected. I am in the east. I am the truth. I am at peace. I am independent. It sounds like a prayer. This verse forms a melodic palindrome. second verse forms a palindrome with the melody and the words. The initial letters form the word Sator, referencing to the main piece of the song. I tried to translate it, but it doesn't make much sense. Finally, the Pax verse combines terms inspired by ancient European languages like Latin, Old Norse, and even Hebraic. The whole verse forms a melodic palindrome whose middle is Pax. Once again, it doesn't seem to make much sense once translated. The value of the lyrics probably lies in their structure, sometimes in palindrome. Nevertheless, we can spot terms that are referencing to magic or religious concepts. The last word of the song is Adlaku. Adla is a magic word that appears in some charms, from the Amida, which is the central Jewish prayer, but it's also found on German medieval talismans against fire and English civil crosses for charms against fever. Kuth may be God, Mana may be Manus, which is hand in Latin, or the rune Manas for man in Old Norse. Fas is the divine law in Latin. Sol Invictus is the sun god in the late Roman Empire. Some other words remind me of what we can find in prayers, what people usually wish. Toroder could be great wealth in Old Norse. Leiknishen could be based on Leiknir, which is healer in Old Norse and Icelandic. Leif is life in Old Norse. Amikita might be Amikitia, which is friendship in Latin. Pax and Pacem are peace in Latin. Delicae salus means the salvation of pleasures, and Fortuna can mean fate or luck. I attempted to translate the Latin part, but it might be incorrect as well. In his divine law, Sol Invictus brings friendship and peace to workers, salvation of pleasures and peace to owners, but fortune remains in work. Now, what about the hidden message at the beginning of the song? Well, if you listen to this song backward, you'll be able to hear Kai singing this. To conclude, Tenet is a bunch of prayers, sometimes arranged in palindromes. Christopher Yuhl defines Tenet as definitely one of the biggest Heilung productions and compositions. But there's something even greater that I haven't analyzed. On Bandcamp and in the official booklet of the album, Heilung wrote, "The unusual melody of the piece is created with a special chord system employing numbers, runes and Latin letters taken from the square itself, and deciphered in a complicated system to give birth to Heilung's first melodic palindrome." To be honest, I don't have the courage and probably not the skills to try to decipher this chord system, but maybe somebody will, and I'd love to see what it's like. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of this new format. For now it's a bit cheap, I know, but it should improve if I keep it up. Thanks again and see you soon.